I guess figuring out what your pain points are or like where your gap areas are and honing in on that is a good way and a good thing that companies are doing. Um, Doing an employee survey, as Pearson mentioned, finding out what employees are talking about. Maybe they already feel comfortable. Maybe there is a high level of inclusivity in your organization, you're not aware. So before you go out and spend thousands of dollars on DEI training and all these things, start small. Learn
Right.
from your current employees like what it is that you need to be doing and where they feel comfortable, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think for sure, but in reality, the the ability of that stuff to have impact is only as much of an advocate and an agent of change as the leadership wants to be,
Yeah.
right? Like you can do all of these things and have these surveys, but if they're not really listening or they don't care for the findings in it, it's hard to change things. So I think it also starts. You can have all these initiatives, but it also has to have the buy-in, from a leadership
Yeah.
perspective too.
Starting from the bottom up, but also a drip from
Top
the top
down.
down, right?
Like anything, I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
I
that's a
mean, I
good
guess I'm
segue. Go ahead.
yeah,
No, please.
I guess I'm torn there because I mean, like what you said, Lindsay, I feel as if it is something that, at the end of the day, people like my candidate who is a market research manager has the ability to impact this company at a pretty small level, or I guess not at a large level, but in a position that's not CEO, COO. But
Hmm.
just like what Dan said, I think at the end of the day, if we're looking at this as a team and we have a leader, you always want your leaders to feel the same sentiment as you do. But I mean, I thought the best point you
Yeah.
made right there is, hey, just take a temperature check or a poll to see if, you
For
are
sure.
bad at this or if you have something,
Maybe
if you end
everyone
up,
feels fine. Yeah. Maybe you
yeah,
have an inclusive culture.
if you end up having an inclusive culture, I mean, you could actually be able to take some of those things and highlight it more to your candidates, next steps wise. So I think that, those things could
Continuing it
ultimately continue to help retain, but
Yeah.
continue to help attract talent as well.
for sure. Yeah. Before we get too much into, because I definitely want to talk about how to recruit diversity. I want to talk a